So for this explainer, we're diving deep into a single powerful scene that's built around just three things: a girl, a needle, and a sword. And in this one scene, we get to see an entire world of expectations just crash head-on with one person's fierce, undeniable sense of self.
I mean, it's a question we all face, right? What happens when the world wants you to be one thing, but you know, deep down, you're something else entirely? Well, that's the story for the character we're focusing on today, a young girl named Arya. And for her, this whole battle, it all starts with one tiny, simple failure.
And it all kicks off with this one line. Now, this isn't just about bad sewing. It's about a fundamental mismatch. In Arya's world, crooked stitches aren't just a mistake. They're like a verdict, a judgment. It's basically the world telling her, nope, you're the wrong kind of girl.
All right, so let's set the scene. We're in the needlework room. For most girls of her station, this place is all about grace and refinement. But for Arya, oh, it's a cage, a prison where she's just constantly being reminded of how she doesn't fit in.
And you can see this whole conflict perfectly just by looking at the two sisters. On one side, you've got Sansa. She's the ideal. You know, fine, delicate hands, high cheekbones, she does everything prettily. And then there's Arya. She gets called Arya Horseface and is told she has the hands of a blacksmith. You can feel it, can't you? Every bit of praise for Sansa is like this little poke at Arya, reinforcing that she just doesn't measure up.
So the whole room is buzzing with this courtly chatter. Sansa and her friends, they're all whispering about Prince Joffrey, about beauty and marriage and becoming queen. Now, this isn't just teenage gossip. This is the social currency of their entire world. It's a game Arya has absolutely zero interest in playing. She is a total outsider here.
So, what does Arya do? She just lobs a grenade right into the middle of their delicate conversation. When they ask her about the dashing Prince Joffrey, she doesn't play along. Nope, she quotes her favorite person, her half-brother Jon. And that one comment? It's so sharp, so dismissive, it instantly tells you everything about her contempt for their games, and where her loyalties really are.
And right here, you see the tension between the sisters just boil over. Arya's line, "He's our brother," that comes straight from the heart. But Sansa's quiet correction, "our half-brother," that comes from the social rulebook. It's this cold, sharp reminder of the world they live in. Sansa knows the rules. Arya just stomped all over one of them.
So finally, she's had enough. She needs an escape, and her excuse? Oh, it's just brilliant. She takes the insult they threw at her, those hands of a blacksmith, and she wields it like a sword. It's this awesome, defiant moment of, yeah, that's who I am, so what? It's a perfect act of rebellion. So she flees that world of needles and runs straight toward a world that actually makes sense to her, the world of swords. And it's here that she finds her people and her pack.
First up, her direwolf pup, Nymeria. And you have to pay attention to this name. It is so important. I mean, her sister Sansa names her wolf Lady. Cute, appropriate, very proper. But Arya, she names hers after a legendary warrior queen who led her people to freedom. This is not just a pet's name. It's a statement. A clue to who she really, really wants to be.
And then she finds Jon. In him, she finds a mirror. They're the only two who have their father's Stark look. But it's more than that, right? They're both outsiders. Arya because of her personality, Jon because of his birth. They get each other.
So Arya asks Jon a simple question. Hey, why aren't you out there sparring with the prince? And his answer is just so blunt. Bastards are not allowed to damage young princes. The rules are spelled out right there. He can hold a sword, but he can't actually use it against someone of higher status. It's another kind of cage.
And this is where Jon just lays it all out, plain and simple. Girls get the arms, but not the swords. Bastards get the swords, but not the arms. It's the perfect summary of the trap they're both in. The world gives each of them only half of what they need to feel whole, just in totally different ways. I did not make the rules, he tells her. So powerful.
Okay, so now the story's gonna pivot. Everything we just saw, all that personal frustration in the sewing room, is about to get played out on a much bigger, more dangerous stage, the practice yard.
So, down in the yard, Arya's big brother Robb is sparring with Prince Joffrey. But Joffrey, he's bored. He calls it a game for children.
And then he flat out insults Robb and his family. This is not just some friendly rivalry. This is Joffrey using his status to show contempt, to put the Starks in their place.
So Robb naturally gets his back up and challenges them again. And this is where Joffrey just escalates everything. He demands live steel. And let's be really clear about what that means. They'd be switching from blunted practice swords to sharpened, deadly weapons. This isn't a game anymore. Joffrey just turned a sparring match into a potential duel to the death.
Thankfully, the adult in the yard, Sir Roderick, steps in and shuts it down immediately. He represents the rules, the tradition of Winterfell. He's there to train knights, not to let kids get maimed in some prince's cruel game. He's holding the line.
But Joffrey's crew, they don't let it go. His guard, the Hound, throws out this sneering question. You see the pattern here? It's the same tactic. Just like Arya gets mocked for not being a proper lady, Sir Roderick's sensible caution gets framed as being weak, as being feminine. It's an insult designed purely to undermine his authority.
And in the end, Joffrey wins. And he does it without even lifting a sword. He just uses his princely status to humiliate Robb, to ignore the rules, and to walk away, leaving Robb absolutely fuming. He proves that his real power isn't in his skill, it's in his title.
And all of this leads to the final bitter lesson of the day. Arya's been watching all of this unfold. She saw the fight in the sewing room. Now she's seen the fight in the yard. And it all clicks.
Jon finds her watching and makes a little joke, but Arya is not in the mood. Her frustration just explodes. "I hate needlework," she cries out. "It's not fair." And that's the key moment. She finally connects her own small misery with the bigger injustice she just saw. To her, it's all the same broken, unfair system.
And what's Jon's reply? Just 3 little words that are basically the thesis of this entire story. Nothing is fair. It's a hard, cynical truth, but it's exactly what they've both just learned. The rules aren't broken. They were built this way, to keep everyone in their place.
But her little rebellion, it doesn't last. She's found. And not just by her teacher, but by her mother, too. The 2 pillars of female authority in her world are standing there waiting. And just like that, the walls close back in. She's pulled right back into the very world she was trying so desperately to escape.
And that brings us right back to where we started. Arya has learned a very tough lesson. The world isn't fair, and the game is rigged against people like her. She tried to run, but she couldn't get away. So that leaves us with the real question, the one that's going to drive her entire journey. If the rules are unfair and you can't just quit the game, how do you change it? Thank you for joining us on The Explainer.